All right. Hey guys, I'm C.
And I'm T.
And we are CNTTV. So today we are going to be talking about quite a few topics. We're going to start with the war on women's bodies, which is pretty much what's happening with the political powers that be trying to decide women's rights and what we should be doing with our bodies, which 98% of the people that are making these laws are men. We're also going to be talking about A$AP Rocky and currently what's happening to him over in Sweden and the racial biases that play a part in that. And then we're going to also be discussing Blac, Chyna, and Tokyo Tony and their toxic situationship, familyship, and how to cut off toxic family members.
Yes. And this is season 1, episode 2.
Yes, so thank you guys for tuning in. All right, so let's just get straight to it. Topic number 1, the war on women's bodies. So I saw this really cool quote that came from an anonymous person on CNN, and it was talking about a woman and a man. So the quote said, "A woman can be intimate with 100 men in 1 year. How many pregnancies can she produce?" One. She cannot have 100
Maybe
pregnancies.
2 if she start getting in before 6 weeks is over, but 1. She can only bear 1
She
child.
can only have 1 child though.
Right.
But if a man were to be intimate with over 100 women in 1 year, he could potentially have how many?
100 babies.
100 babies. So the problem with that is there's all these laws saying, oh, we're going to outlaw abortion, and we're going to do this, and we're going to get rid of birth control, and we're going to get rid of all preventative methods when it comes to women and their bodies. And what's happening to the men?
Right. Are they getting snip or what?
Or
because it should be fair across the board. I mean, the fact that there are even laws telling her what she can and cannot do with her body is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like,
absolutely.
Especially these men who are having all these comments and all these opinions about it. You don't have a uterus. You don't have to bear that baby. You don't have to go through those labor pains. You don't have to go through those mood swings, the weight gain. It's a lot. And then women are risking their lives to bear these babies. And I feel like a woman should be able to do what she wants with her body. I personally wouldn't abort a baby, just me and personally my morals. I can't do it. The only way that I would ever consider it was like rape, incest, something along those lines. But if it's just me being intimate and getting pregnant on my own account, I'm having that baby regardless. I don't care if I'm mad, if I'm sad, if I'm hurt. I'm bearing my child because I made the decision
But that's your decision.
Right. It's still my decision with my body.
Somebody else.
No one can tell me
her
that I can or cannot have my kid. Like, I'm having my baby. Like, period. And if I don't want to have my baby, that's my business.
Exactly.
Not yours.
So there was this woman in, I believe in Kentucky, who was, I guess she was pregnant or whatever, and she went ahead and had an abortion, and she was raped. And so she wanted to, she didn't have the abortion. She wanted to get an abortion because she was raped. And because of the new law that went into play. Now, okay, I think it was Kentucky. It's some sort of country, really sexist state. No offense to Kentuckians, but y'all know who y'all are. But anyways, and so she wanted to, go ahead and abort the baby. And if she would have been facing criminal charges. And then on top of that, after having the baby, the rapist can still sue her for partial custody. Right. And it's just like, that's not right in any shape, way, or form.
It's a no for me.
So I feel like if people are going to be passing laws on what women are going to do with their bodies, it should be women, not these elderly 65-year-old Caucasian
1 foot in, 1 foot out the grave
men who are making these rules. Absolutely not. Which is a good segue into another issue, but this time with a man. Right. A$AP Rocky. I'll let you start that one first, because I have feelings on this.
There was an incident with A$AP Rocky you have not heard, where he got into an altercation with a couple gentlemen over in Sweden, where they apparently have been following them around all day, harassing them, and it led to a physical altercation, of which he wasn't the starter of the fight, but apparently he did push the guy.
But he finished it.
And they finished the fight. A$AP and his people, his bike, they did finish the fight. They didn't start the fight. And the only person who is facing criminal charges is A$AP Rocky. He's been in jail for about 3 weeks now under, from what I'm reading and seeing, is strenuous conditions. He's not really eating. They're not feeding him properly. He is horrible living conditions. And now he's actually been formally charged. And apparently his charges could lead to up to a 2-year sentence. And I think that's like unfair, number one, because nothing's happened to the kid who started the fight, number one, who happens to be Caucasian. Mm-hmm. I know people don't like to play the race card, but it's what it is, man. Sue me. It is what it is. Like, he's black. He's the only one. His bodyguard didn't get charged. His bodyguard was definitely in that fight. Not saying he should have been charged, but I feel like if anyone's going to get charged, either all get charged or nobody get charged. Or the one who started the fight. Because at this point, if they start the fight, it's self-defense on his part.
Right.
So if anyone hits me, I'm swinging back, is what it is. Like,
absolutely.
And we'll just figure that out after the fact. But the fact that he's the only one getting charged, he's the only one in jail, that's not right to me. I don't have a personal opinion about ASAP and the things that he said in the past, but right is right, wrong is wrong. Regardless, if he was here, I think he was wrong. He's over there, I think it's wrong. So that's my take on that. I think it's not right. I feel like if anyone's going to get charged, then it should be the dude who started it. That's just me, though. Come on with your biased opinion. Come on.
So, okay, listen, Linda. First of all, I do think that he is being treated unfairly. I will say that. I will agree. Okay. However,
comma.
I do exact comma. This it comes with a comma.
Always a but comma.
There it is. It comes with a comma. However, I do. I feel like this will give him a chance to eat those words that he said about black women and about black people. For those of you who do not know, I will jog your memory.
Refresher.
ASAP made a comment about him not being able to. Well, he was being interviewed. And the interviewer asked him, how did he feel about the Flint, Michigan water crisis? How did he feel about Black Lives Matter? How did he feel about black people in general? And his response was he couldn't relate. His friends are in Beverly Hills. His friends are in Soho. He's not over there in Flint. He don't have nothing to do with that. He's a black man, but he don't have to speak on Black Lives Matter because his life matters. But that's all that matters to him.
Basically, not my circus, not my monkeys, not my business.
So I just see all these, black people that are backing him and saying, oh, let's free ASAP, free ASAP. No, ASAP, you sit there. You sit there for a little bit and you think about what you said, because all your friends in Soho and Beverly Hills, where are they? Crickets.
Hoppo.
Where are they? Nowhere to be found. But now the same black community that you shunned is the people that's having your back. So I feel like maybe once he does get released, because I don't like how he is being treated, I will say that. But once you do get released, maybe now you'll have some humility on the same community that you shunned.
Right. Well, that's a mouthful.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to segue into our next.
Speaking of shunning, oh my gosh. Okay. So, are you guys watching the Blac Chyna, the real Blac Chyna on the Zeus Network? It's a $3.99 subscription. If you do not have Zeus, I suggest you get the Zeus Network. You can stream it on your smart TV, your cell phones, your iPads, all that other wonderful stuff. It is the Zeus Network, Zeus, like the Olympian god, Zeus. So, you can look up that network. Okay, so let's just get straight into it.
Baby.
Oh, I am one of the people, and I am not ashamed to admit it, who misjudged Blac Chyna. I felt like she was just this angry girl from the DMV who just had all these anger issues. Oh, but I understand where that baby's anger is coming from.
Especially when it comes to her mother. Her mother
Ooh.
is a handful.
Yes.
And calling a spade, I wouldn't deal with it either, honestly.
No.
She would be deleted, blocked, wouldn't know where I lived, have no type of interaction with the way she talks to her. And the fact that you could speak to someone in that type of manner, you call out her name, you literally just trash her in her face and on social media, and you drag someone who came out of your body. Regardless of how you feel about her personal life, like she was saying, you had them joints talking about her kids. She has 2 kids, 3 for men. And she's like dragging her for that and talking all this crap about her. Talking all this crap about her, and I'm just like, how dare you?
Y'all have to excuse that my dogs are over here wrestling, so that's what we're laughing at.
Okay, but yeah, like I definitely would deal with her if that was my mother, like me personally, and I think that situation is a perfect example of people feeling like no matter what, because I'm your mother or I'm your sister
family
or I'm your
whatever,
family, I can treat you however, and it's okay.
And it is not. It is absolutely not okay. So one thing that Tokyo kept saying, she kept telling Chyna, oh, you live in LA, you're so LA down, this, and this, and oh, you have a Rolls Royce and you have this, and this, but you bought me a Honda. But it's a new Honda.
Be happy she bought you anything.
You had
she
legs.
could have bought you a bus pass.
You had legs to transport
She
yourself
could have bought you a bus pass.
and now she got
paid
you
in
a
turn.
car. A new car that you don't even have to pay on. That she's still paying on despite how you treat her. So anyways, they had this heated argument.
Hat and turn.
Had a...
Lace your sneakers.
Had a heated
You gonna wear the soles off them boys.
And Tokyo was in Chyna's face like this and was like just spitting and talking to her crazy. She told Chyna to go S&D. She called her a raunchy B word. She told her she was going to F her up. And then she just kept, just going on and on. And so Chyna was like, this is why I don't want you around my grandkids because, around my children, which are Tokyo's grandkids, because you're toxic, you're horrible, you're evil. And just seeing how her mother does her, it's just so you can just tell that this is something she's been going through her whole life. Chyna is adamant about the fact that her grandmother raised her, took care of her, and Tokyo can't stand that as well. She always tells Chyna, oh, you were the stripper, but Tokyo was also a stripper, and Chyna threw that back in her face, like, well, you were a stripper.
Apple's not falling far from the tree. This whole dream doesn't go that way, but
exactly. So but anyways, guys, make sure y'all tune into that network if you have not done so you can catch up on all the episodes. You can backdate and go back to episode 1. There are only 3 episodes in. It is the Zeus Network, the real Blac Chyna. I think that's all we have today. Shout out to our producer behind the camera. She is keeping us in line and in order. Producer E Wizzy on the track. And thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you watch us this Thursday for our One's Gotta Go. We have 2 really dope videos that are coming up, and we hope that you guys continue to watch and support our channel. See you guys next week. I'm C.
And I'm T.
Bye.
Bye. Corner. That corner.
Did you do it?